Hey everyone, Jamie Phillips, Action Auto Parts. Barney, calm down, son. Sit still. Good thing you ain't got no teeth. Hey, well, I thought Peg and Felicia was leaving, but they're trying to raise the gate up. We got to talk about it need to be raised up, and I didn't pay them, thought they was leaving, and they're down there trying to raise it up. But we got the Jimmy and the Oldsmobile delivered today, thanks to Anthony and Sammy. So anyway, there goes the mail lady. Little Jimmy, we put a battery on it, but Peg says it's not getting like any power, so we got to kind of look at it. It ain't an emergency type deal by no means. It's kind of cold again today, but this is so muddy, this lot. We had them kind of scattered about, and I've got to get out in the garage and see if I can find a key to that Monte Carlo. I think maybe I left it laying out there, I don't know. Of course, now that Black Betty's fixed and I got Dirty Maxine, I've been leaving one or the other out here. But anyway, we kind of got these four rearranged and straightened up, and I can actually put another one here if I get something bought until it gets to where we can get everything up on the hill. But this I want to play with a little bit and see if we can figure out if it's worth going on and spending $1 or $2 on and get it running. Mainly just because I think it's still in pretty good shape. It's got a little bit of, a little bit of rust there, and there's a little bit on that rocker panel. But man, I mean, if you all have seen my video back when I started cleaning up the Cougar that's in my garage, of course I've not got it finished yet because of the weather and what have you, but I know this red paint would bounce back a lot. And I'm just thinking, man, if he's running good, get underneath of it, paint that frame, and maybe repaint that lower part black, and just kind of give it a good cleaning and stuff. If it ran good, and of course I could get the title from the people. It's not been on the road since 2020, but I kind of hate to part it out if it would run good and would make maybe a decent little old extra vehicle to play with or whatever. But if not, I don't have a problem putting it in a junkyard. If it's not going to run good or whatever, then bada bing and bada the boom. But so we got the little Jimmy here. It's not, I'm kind of OCD, anal, whatever about them being straight. It's not exactly straight, but at least they're lined up and heading in the same direction. So we turned the old Range Rover around, got it there. And of course, here's the big Oldsmo bubble. They hadn't found the keys yet, and I hope they do. I don't want to have to tear the ignition out and all of that, but I've got a bucket of old keys, and sometimes you get lucky. And so we'll get those out tomorrow and go through them, and maybe we can luck up and maybe find one that'll at least start it or crank it and see what it would do. But definitely going to put that one in the parting out list. I've got to go to the drugstore and pick up my wife's and my prescription, so I probably won't get it done tonight, get it listed or whatever. But at the same time, that's not a big deal. But there's just guys out there that likes these old cars, and I just thought, man, I better jump on that one and see what we can do with it. And then of course the old Ford 4-wheel drive, it was sitting up here. Peg got it running, but we just aired the tire up and pulled it around. I've actually got the front and back bumper sold and the grill. So the guy sent me half down today on as the deposit, because he can't come until probably Saturday and get them. And I had another guy wanting the back bumper, and he said, no, I want them. I suppose just send me half. So he did. So we're good on that. So we got these lined up, and it really leaves the lot pretty good. So if we do get something in, they can turn around the rollback or whatever. And of course, Odell, the workout truck over there, it runs, we'll move it. That way the pooper scooper guy can back up to the porta-john, and we just got room out here to maneuver around. Because a couple winters ago, man, I had this lot full and cars sitting all out in here because I couldn't get them to the back. So gonna try to stay a little bit more organized. Of course, I got the old Travelall sitting there. I've got it sitting out front kind of for sale, but I ain't even got it listed. So it's kind of one of those drive-by, you see it. If it sells, it sells. And if it don't, I ain't worried about it. I like it. And I'm not in it that bad. But anyway, we got these lined up. That was kind of the, I guess, the highlight of the day. Answered a bunch of questions, as always, sent pictures and first one thing to another, and then just trying to get these maneuvered around to where really, there again, kind of like to have them maybe a little closer, but with this one stuck in gear and you can't steer it, that's just kind of where it ended up at. But you know, it's still it's better than what they were. And so yeah, that's been kind of the most exciting part of my day on this cool day, is just getting the vehicles lined up and answering some questions, and at least getting the deposit for both bumpers and the grill. So there you go. Some days, man, you're just slammed and you make good money. You know, yesterday I had that guy drove up from Louisiana, which was just crazy. But that happened, and then, you know, had a pretty good day selling some stuff. Today's been a little bit different, but there's Mr. Spolt. When you walk toward him, watch, he just falls over. What are you wanting, Barney? Are you wanting a belly rub? You want a big old belly rub. You're spoiled, man. But you know what? That's okay. I love you anyway, man. But Daddy's got to go home. I got a little short video, and I hadn't posted it. The other day when I was leaving, I was at the gate, and Barney was sitting like right here watching me to see which way I went. So when I turned left to go home, he took off running through here, and he got down about right there as I was coming up. And of course, he lives trailer just right up over the hill there. And he was running along, and I was, of course, baby talking him and talking to him out the window, telling him I loved him and I'd see him tomorrow and all that. But he's a pretty special old dog. I forgot this morning to get him some dog food at the dollar store. So what did Daddy do? Yeah, I bought you a sausage and egg biscuit with cheese from 5 Star, didn't I? Plus your treats. And then you had breakfast like we did, didn't you? A good old hot sandwich. Look at that lack of teeth. Don't smack the phone, man. But I'm going to get out of here, y'all. My back's been killing me. And I'd said the other day I was going to make a video about, I guess you could call it, he was supposed to be a potential customer. Hopefully nobody will call and knock this offline. Let me get in old dirty Maxine here. But I had a guy, he sent me a message about trunk lid on a, look at this. Now, Barney, you've done had your treats, baby. I got to go. Quit being spoiled. So he wanted to know about a trunk lid on the 03 Mustang. And I said, well, I know I sold the third brake light out of it, but I think everything else is there. So sure enough, I go up and I drive by it. It's got the spoiler, trunk lid. It's in good shape. I just sold the little third brake light out of it. And I said, spoiler and the lid, $75, you take it off. And he come back and he said, I'll do 50. And I said, nah, you know, because I've sold those spoilers for 20, 25 bucks, and I know the trunk lid's worth whatever. So I said, no, I appreciate it, but I can't do that. And he proceeded to say, well, man, with your prices, you're just like if I was trying to buy them online. And you're crazy, kid. Well, I looked at his profile, and I'm older than him. I ain't no kid. And I don't even think he knew where I was at, because his profile said he lived in Cincinnati, and Hebron, Kentucky's, if I'm not mistaken, northern Kentucky and up that way. So he continued to say that I was only 36 miles and Hebron was 40 miles, and he could go get it for what he had offered. He thought he had offered me a fair price, and he could go get it for that, and they would pull it, and all he had to do was just drive in and pick it up. And I'm like, okay, that's great. You found it cheaper and with no work involved. That's where you need to go, and thank you. Then he went off and he started cussing me and telling me how big of a prick I was, and didn't know how I sold car parts, and some other explicits. And I try, if y'all watch my channel, I try to keep it clean. I don't want no, not saying it's against anybody else that does it, but I don't want no You know, I try not to cuss in them, and because I want, if somebody's watching it with their kids, I don't want them to say, oh man, he said this or whatever. And I try not to cuss anyway, but I'm human, and I get mad like anybody else does. And so I sent him a message back and said, well, I may not sell many parts, but I don't have to sell them to an explicit like you, and something else that I wished I hadn't said, but I said it. There again, I got mad, and I had the block button set there, so when it come down and the little icon popped up that he was reading it, then I hit the block button. I thought, I got the last word in too. But I guess the point I'm trying to say, you know, a guy drove up from Louisiana, great guy. People come in and out. I talk to him all the time on the phone or in Messenger and text, and there's just so many great car people, men and women. And then you just get one that's just like so self-righteous. You know, he makes the price, he sets the price, and couldn't believe I wouldn't take it, and just goes off and steals your joy, and tries to make you have a bad day. And he accomplished that for a couple of minutes. And then I was like, you know, screw this. He's not worth it. I'm blessed by the best. I don't need to be falling to his level and doing the same thing he was doing. And I did, and I regretted it. But, you know, it's just part, I guess, of being a human. We're not perfect, and we're going to fail. But I just hate that you can have so much fun and meet so many great people, make so many friends. Like on here, you know, I talk to people from all over the United States and Canada, and I may not never meet them face to face, but I'm like, hey, that's good. It's a cool guy. It's a good, you know, it's a good guy. And then you get one that just is a jerk. So anyway, I just tagged it on to the end of this one about the cars. I was going to just kind of say, you know, let's try to remember when we talk to each other, you can ruin somebody's day, and chances are you're ruining your own as well. It's just better to either, you know, that guy would have been a lot better off if he'd have just said, yeah, I appreciate it, but I'm stuck at 50. No harm, no foul, good deal. But he wanted to continue it on, and so yeah. Let's treat each other the way we would like to be treated, and I think it'll make a better place. But there again, I fell into the trap and let my temper get a hold of me for a few minutes. But I hope you're having a great day. I know Mr. Barney Googlehead is, and I have as well. I'm going to go pick up some prescriptions and go home and try to warm up. And I'd like to ask you to please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, please subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.